Okay, welcome to episode 72 of the Geek podcast. This is Vaughn.
Chris.
And we're back. A week late, but not as bad as we used to be.
Correct.
Lots of shit happening, good and bad. And some movie stuff, because I wanted your opinion on it. Are you a Harry Potter fan?
I am, but I have not seen any of the Fantastic Beasts stuff.
Okay.
But I heard about some of the shit that happened recently. I was reading about that earlier. I'm assuming you're talking about Nagini.
Yeah.
Nagini? Nagini. No, Nagini.
Sure.
Some fan, right?
Yeah.
Been forever. Yeah, but that.
Okay, so, do we want to go with terrible news at first? Or no? Let's get what we've been playing out of the way. Anything interesting?
Is that a serious question? Actually, I read back Spider-Man.
Okay.
Like, the day it came out. Because
wow.
I found out you can red box a game now. It's normally $3 a day. Or you can do 3 days for $7. So it's pretty neat. It's a pretty good deal for that. So I red boxed it, and then forgot I have it, so now I own it. So that escalated very quickly with that.
After a certain amount of days, do they have to charge you to keep it?
Once you basically hit the cost of the game.
What's the daily charge?
$3 a day. I think I'm there.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
I'm, like, pretty much there. At this point, I might as well fucking keep the game. Because I've tried at one point being like, hey, I totally forgot about the game. And they're like, we'll give you, like, 3 free rentals. And I'm like, fuck that. I'll just keep the game. Yeah. And then I, like, sold it. So, anyways, I have literally only played up to, like, that, like, the first time you meet Dr. Octavius.
Okay.
And then, like, got sidetracked.
You do a lot of action stuff before that.
Right. So, yeah, I got, the whole web-swinging combat thing.
The game is smooth as silk.
Yes, it is. And
doesn't fuck around in terms of Uncle Ben's sob story. It's like, show a picture, you know what's going on, goes into what you think is a cutscene, and you're fucking swinging.
Yep. You're there. You're in. No. And the very first thing that I wanted to do was, like, the first moment that I had, like, free roam was just swing through the city and go to the World Trade Center because it's the highest point in the city. Just go all the way up. And surprised that when did they take the World Trade Center out of the game? Because it was in the demos.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. Like, I felt like it was in demos very late into the process.
I don't ever remember Twin Towers being in...
No, not the Twin Towers.
I meant bad.
That's insensitive, Vaughn.
Sorry. I mean, there was a news article about, oh, do you see the Twin Towers in the reflection of this building? So that's
yes, which was really fucking cool.
Which isn't true, but...
What do you mean it's not true?
That's not true. Like, it's just the way the reflection tech is built in that game. Like, that wasn't an actual thing.
So wait, what was it then? Because, like, I went to that point, like, in the game and did it.
Right.
And, like, that was the reflection.
Right. It's not in there for that reason. Like, that is not why you see that there. They do an explanation of why it's showing like that, but it's not actually in there because of that.
They should have just been like, yeah, good find.
I mean,
we'll take it. It's better than fucking Watch Dogs reflections in the buildings. Do you remember that? Where it was like always, every single building, the reflection like in the windows was like the same street, like going behind you in a way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this one, they have a build of the New World Trade Center being in the game at one point.
Oh, I guess that was a NeoGAF post. Interesting.
I don't know why they would have taken it out. But the point was I still wanted to go to the highest point in the city and just, like,
there was a
look and jump and swing.
Tall-ass building in there.
Yes. So, good game. Like it. It's fun. Other than that, Destiny. Still grinding away.
Still enjoying it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The grind is very slow, especially because I can't commit every night to the game. So I'm not moving nearly as fast as I want.
What is your light/power level?
Like 524.
I think I read there's a soft cap at 520.
Well, there's multiple soft caps.
Yeah.
The first initial one is 500. And then there's tier 1 powerful engrams that you can get up to 520. And then tier 2 is like up to 540. And then tier 3 is like up to like 560. And then everything after that is like end game shit. Like serious end game shit. And so, I'm working my way around those soft caps and got past the 520 mark. I guess I could technically go into the raid now and get my ass handed to me.
Right, or at least struggle through the whole thing.
Yes. Did you follow any of that on
I haven't followed
raid weekend?
Anything other than seeing posts about a select group finishing it and then them unlocking something for everybody.
Right. So the raid was... Had the raid launched by our last episode? No. We were coming up to it, weren't we? The next day was going to be the raid, I think.
I think it was the next week because it didn't come out a week later. The expansion
because
just came out.
Our last episode was the Thursday after Forsaken. It has been a while.
About 3
Yeah, because last week... Yep, okay. So, the raid comes out. Normally, the raid is beaten in 6 to 12 hours.
Yeah.
Takes 19 hours to beat this thing. The first day, there's only 2 groups that beat it.
Yeah.
Whereas, compared to my favorite raid, King's Fall, there was 18,000 people that had beaten the raid on the first day. And there was essentially 12 that beat it on the first day here. 18 if you count Dado's group, which was 2 minutes late for the emblem. Which sucks. Because they triggered the last stand before 1 o'clock, but the final kill shot was at 1:02. So they missed the emblem by 2 minutes. Which sucks for them. It's because they grinded it out all night, all 24 hours. Never stopped. It essentially was just a slog where they were going in at 5:40 and getting their asses handed to them. And the reason that took so long was that 24 hours was grinding through and getting more powerful gear to get you at a level that could make you effective in the raid. Because they'd figured out the mechanics.
Yeah.
And now people are beating it.
Just the damage output.
Exactly.
Why not?
Because and I guess now they've implemented if you're 50 below the power level, you can't do damage to that enemy.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it reads as immune to your damage. So fuck that.
That's annoying.
So yeah, other than that, at this point I've just kind of sat back and enjoyed all the changes. Every week there's more changes. They add more, taking corruption to shit, and all leads up to a point. I'm just kind of fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be the first on anything. I never wanted to be.
As long as you're just having fun, I guess that's all that matters.
Exactly, and that's what it's all about. Especially with all the shit coming out. Can't worry about it.
Lots of shit coming out.
Yep.
Not only
we're at that window now.
And then next year as well.
Right. So what about you? Because that's literally my 2 things.
So I talked about that Strange Brigade game. Finished that. I don't know if I said I finished it last time, but platinumed it.
Working on it, yeah.
Spider-Man, platinumed it. Fantastic game.
Loved it.
So much fun. Oh, yeah. If you plan on platinuming that game, there are random, criminal activities going on that you'll hear over the police radio. Just do them.
Okay.
Each time you get them, just do them.
It'll save you time.
It'll save you the slog at the end, because there are certain numbers that you have to hit in each district of the city, and you don't unlock certain ones until later on in the story. So if you can get as many as the ones that are automatically unlocked done, that'll save you so much time. But that one is a fun one and not a grind so much until you have to do those, but it's not bad. The story is fantastic. That story is a tearjerker.
Does it put itself in the conversation game of the year for you?
Oh yeah.
Does it stand a chance?
Yeah. It's in my top 5 of the year so far.
Okay.
That story was so good. A lot of people are complaining about there's stealth missions where you play as different characters. So like Mary Jane is one of them. Where they say it takes you out of the immersion, but I feel like anything, it puts you more into that world. Like it gives you more of a background to
fresh perspective
where they're at in that spider universe.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful game.
Yeah.
Combat can be rough at first until you really get a hang of it and start unlocking like gadgets and skills and whatnot, but there's no microtransactions in this game. It's
an old school game.
Right, and nothing that you unlock feels like a grind. You are getting stuff at a good rate. Story unlocks are coming fast enough. Side missions are fun. There's that disconnect, I know, with certain open world games where like, oh, you have to go do this. Let me go help this side quest over here real quick, even though it seems pertinent to do the main story quest. But I feel like with any open world game, you kind of have to take your mind out of that type of aspect.
So did they hit a similar pace as God of War hit, where you're unlocking things at a good rate? It's a focus on old school progression and gameplay systems.
Yeah, and it gives you the option of like if you just want to grind out stuff to unlock things, totally viable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know when it first came out, before I finished it, people were talking about like not doing the side quest beforehand because you'll get OP. I don't feel like that happens because story missions gate you off from unlocking certain things. So you literally cannot do or get these skills until you finish the story mission. So,
and that argument doesn't make sense to me. You're a goddamn superhero.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to be powerful. Like,
right. But I guess in terms of video game progression,
yeah,
they have to gate you off somehow. And they tie in these gadgets that you unlock with story stuff. So,
mm-hmm.
And Parker's a scientist, so
right.
You're working with Doc Ock, so
right.
That story branch is interesting. Yeah, if I definitely say finish that game. I'm
excited too. I mean, I was very impressed with that opening of the game.
Even if it's not like a game of the year type thing for you,
mm-hmm.
I want to hear your outlook on the story.
Mm-hmm. I imagine it will be. It sounds like it's
very humanizing for that character.
Yeah, I cared like so little about this game going into it that when I redboxed it and started playing, I'm like, this is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And what a good start for this being the first game in the series for it.
Right.
Like if this is their first swing at it, imagine Spider-Man 2.
I'll zip right to the store and buy it.
Yeah.
It is also Marvel's entry into video games again.
Mm-hmm.
Like they said. So we'll see if anything, maybe Spider-Man will stay exclusive. I don't know if the next one will be exclusive, but I wonder if they'll just do multi-platform for other heroes from now on. If this is a video game universe that they're now setting up.
I imagine the Avengers game will be multi-platform.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's Squeenix though.
Somebody should remind them that they're making that game. Because sometimes it feels like they forgot that they're making that game.
There hasn't been any news on it since that initial like Thor hammer picture or anything like that. So, let's see. What else have I been playing? I Platinum Death's Gambit, which is I bring it up because I wasn't going to play that game as hard as I did one day because it was broken as all hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got to a certain boss and the boss would start and it would crash.
Oh my god.
And it wouldn't crash in terms of just immediately going to the would you like to report this
mm-hmm.
error. It would go into that how some games have when you save it goes into that like semi-gray black screen and you can choose like to save or whatnot.
Yeah.
So It went to that, but it said error and had a bunch of pound signs, asterisks, and said something about memory, and then it would crash and do the "would you like to report" type thing.
Jesus Christ!
Like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay, maybe it's a fluke. Start the boss battle again. Same exact thing. I'm like, okay, this is fucking broken. I can't play this right now. And then people were finding out if you turn down your settings from 4K to 1080p, turn off boost mode, do all these weird things, you could play it. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
That's a pain in the ass. You should not have to do that.
So I waited. Another patch came out. Still didn't fix it. I'm like, fuck me. Waited for another patch. Got past it. But there was still a chance of like your save being corrupted. I'm like, I am not playing this until this is fixed. So one more patch came out. Still didn't fix all the issues, but it fixed the corruption thing. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to power through this. I'm going to platinum this, and then I'm done. So I just, 2 nights, I was like, I'm beating this, getting it done. Did it. Don't have to worry about it again. You know that game we played at, I think it was PSX, The Gardens Between?
Yes. I saw that on the drop.
That's a fun game.
So you got it?
Got it, platinumed it.
Yeah, I remember being very impressed with it at PSX.
Yeah, it was cool.
And so how long was it?
It's like 3 hours.
Okay,
4 hours.
that sounds like right up my alley.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not too challenging either. Like, it's not like you're going to have to look things up per se. Like, the puzzles are just hard enough to be like, that was really cool and intuitive. Like, with the time skip forward and back. There's some good elements that we didn't see.
So it's a nice...
nice, almost relaxing game.
So it's almost like a That Game Company style game.
Yeah.
Okay. See, yeah, that sounds
slightly
fantastic.
More challenge. There's like 10, 15 levels. 2 or 3 levels per island, per se. And it's got a good emotional kick at the end.
Nice.
So yeah, worth it. It's $20, so it's on the higher end.
Okay.
But it's worth it. I'd say it's worth that amount of time if you don't equate dollars to time played. Especially because we saw it first and kind of know.
It's kind of cool seeing those games that you played at those, like at that conference, coming out.
Yeah.
Like as a finished product. It's like,
it's
I remember
Kickstarter,
that.
but actually deliverable.
Yep. Absolutely.
I finished Spec Ops: The Line.
Yeah, I've seen the past couple nights like you've been on that one. So was that a slog to finish, or?
I thought I beat it at least once when it first came out, but apparently I didn't. So
okay.
I had to beat it twice once. Because there's trophies that have branching paths. Because you can make a decision at certain chapters, and it kind of changes the outcome. So I had to play at least twice. Last time was on the hardest mode, which apparently people were saying that Fubar mode is one of the harder modes out there, like harder than Call of Duty's hardest mode. It's like, great. It wasn't too bad. So I would say
it depends on like which Call of Duty veteran mode you're talking about, because like it depends on the game.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's made to be ridiculous, and sometimes it's like this is a good challenge that feels realistic, like Modern Warfare 2. And then sometimes you're like, fuck this mode, I'm done. Because
this one really like 2 shots and you're dead.
Yeah.
So I can see why people put it up there. That has some pretty crazy results at the end and choices that you have to make.
That's what I heard. It's a very different tone.
I remember people saying that at the time, and I can see why now.
Yeah.
There's some fucked up shit in that game.
Does it hold up?
It's not too bad. Of course, it has that problem of, I think it's Unreal Engine, of course, so certain times if you die and reload, you see the character and then the textures load in. But outside of that, it's pretty good.
Good.
And I'm playing Hollow Knight right now.
Okay. Heard good things.
So
it's a lot of shit.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm probably going to pick up next week this Fist of the North Star game.
I remember that from PSX.
I'm probably going to possibly pick that up, and then I don't know if I have anything between that and October 26th. I'm not buying Red Dead. I'm buying an anime game, My Hero Academia thing, but yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Nice. Good shit.
Okay. Now,
Let's get out of the way.
Negative.
Mm-hmm.
Telltale is done.
Yeah. Fucking crazy.
Crazy series of events happening with this. First off, just want to say it's super sad. I hope everyone that this affected gets back on their feet.
Mm-hmm. Kudos to all the area game companies opening their doors to them.
They always do that, which is nice. Yeah. A shitty way to get that stuff out there, but I'm glad that at least devs know how that is and reach out.
Mm-hmm.
So, just to get the information out there before we really dive into it.
Okay.
Telltale closed down, fired all of their people, told them 30 minutes to get their stuff and get out.
All right. Except for 25.
Except
like
for
the skeleton crew.
Skeleton crew, that information was kind of yes,
Sketchy.
no, is this actually happening? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
But apparently there is a skeleton crew or something still.
Right.
Which, on top of this, episode 2 of the final season of Walking Dead was like 2 days away.
Right.
So as of right now, you cannot buy.
Yep. Delisted on all storefronts.
Episode 2 did come out, though.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have it already or you have the season pass, you can play the first 2 episodes. There's no word on if it's going to be finished. There have been talks about them wanting to finish it.
Well, initially, their official statement was it's done. Episode 2 was it.
Right.
And then they came back out and said that multiple external partners have reached out wanting to get the IP to finish it up.
Yeah.
Whether or not that happens, that seems like a tall order.
And they when they took down the ability to purchase this, they said for the time being. So that might just be a Band-Aid for the open wound, but that's all we know as of right now. No severance.
Mm-hmm.
No
healthcare through only the end of the month, which was like 6 days.
Just like nothing.
Yep.
There's a lawsuit going on right now.
As there should be.
Because in the state of California, you have to give your workers at least 60-day notice if anything like this is going to happen. Mm-hmm. And it was day of notice.
Yes. Like the day before, they were telling their employees that the financing was looking good.
Right.
And they were hiring people that week leading into it.
Right. They had like 3 partners looking at it. AMC, Lionsgate, and I forget what other one was. I think it's like a Chinese mobile game company.
Was it Tencent?
It wasn't them. It was some other one. And then they said one pulled out, and then hours later the other ones pulled back.
Mm-hmm.
So
and it was done.
What a fucked up situation.
Which meant they were pushing it to the brink.
Oh yeah,
they were running on nothing.
All their eggs were in this possible basket.
Yes.
And the eggs to the floor.
Yes.
Insane.
Yeah, I mean, I was floored when this first broke because
I thought like the voice actor strike thing was bad at the time, but this is a whole nother level of this needs to be fixed for the future.
Yeah, this takes
Unions,
it to another level. I mean, but for it to have been Telltale, because they seemed like they had so many projects that they were working on.
Which is the problem.
Which was the problem, but
you just don't think about it. Like, you don't...
Right.
With everything they were doing, you just assume that, they have so many things because they're doing so well.
Yeah, and they weren't really showing, at least it didn't seem like they were showing signs of struggle. Like, that there were issues.
Their employees didn't think that either, apparently.
Right, yeah, exactly. Like, which shows management, how fucked up management was in that entire situation. But looking back, and I was talking to my friend about this last night, that, at the end of the day, I can see why this became a problem. They were saying that, sales weren't matching their expectations on things. And a Telltale game is a Telltale game. You know what you're getting. In every franchise, you know what you're getting.
Again, yeah, you do, and that's the problem.
And it seemed like they were searching for that second hit like Walking Dead was.
Because nothing ever reached that type of season 1 of Walking Dead.
And they shit the bed with Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, I mean, the fan base following could have been it. But they shit the bed with Game of Thrones. Jurassic Park was awful.
I didn't even play that game.
I mean, that was years ago, but that was awful. Batman seemed like it was popular.
Batman was good. Like, they added some more action-based elements to it, but it was still that fucking in-between of walking and observing things and making decisions. It didn't outweigh the stuff they added.
Mm-hmm.
The newest Walking Dead, I haven't played any of it. I might not ever play any of it. But they were doing some different things with the UI and what you're doing, and there's apparently some like melee combat in that game, which is interesting, but it was still the same engine.
Yeah, it's all the same engine, and your choices don't actually matter. It doesn't affect anything grand in these games. And the only thing, what was that? Wolf Within or something?
The Wolf Among Us.
Wolf Among Us.
That was really good.
But that was like the game that could have been their Walking Dead that they were getting to, right? Like season 2, people were pumped about that.
They announced it. Yeah, people were.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people were disappointed about Wolf Among Us 2. That series would have been so much better if Wolf Among Us 2 was a complete different departure from the gameplay of the first one.
New engine, new style, new everything.
Because
a refresh of the company.
They were looking at doing like Unity-based stuff. Like that was what they were the head honchos were talking about, using Unity and kind of starting fresh for the future. But yeah, they took too much in a short amount of time.
Yeah,
It
fucked over a lot of people.
Oh yeah, 225 people.
Yep.
With nothing.
Because right now, that skeleton crew is just there for a contractual obligation that they have to finish up.
Right.
And then they're done.
Right.
So talk about that, knowing you're going into work.
You're on borrowed time.
Yep. At least you've got something to hold you over until that project's done. But, like...
Right, even then, it's...
You know it's a...
There's probably a timeline where you have to be done by.
Oh, yeah. And it's not the timeline you had, for sure.
Right. And who knows how much you're getting paid, if it was lowered because of this whole lawsuit or whatnot. And even if it is lowered, what can you do? You could leave, but then you have nothing. What contract do you have? That type of stuff. So it's overall a shitty situation. And even in that same vein, even if they do say we're going to finish this last season of Walking Dead, it's not going to be those same people. Like, even if you do ask them to come back, who knows if they have a job by then. I'm sure some people would be like, yes, I want to finish this because it's my work, but you'd have to say the majority wouldn't. Like, why would you go back to that landscape?
Yeah. Well, in episode 2, I mean, episode 1 got really good reviews, I think. But episode 2 did not.
No.
From the couple that I'd seen, like, I think IGN had even given it like a 5.8 or something like that. Like, they hit it hard. But very shitty situation for everybody.
Oh, yeah. That's really all we can say.
Yeah.
And, like, I hope the
it's
best
not
for
gonna
them.
change.
The industry really has to look at the value of developers.
And
it was a strange reaction from fans, because at first it was like, what's happening to these games that we purchased and bought? There's going to be a minority that says, I want my refund, blah, 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 blah. But I feel like a lot of people changed their attitude when they really thought about, like, yes, we only see Telltale and the game. We don't really think about the people making it. But I think once Corey, God of War fame, said, we need to worry about paying these people before we finish the game, people were like, okay, you were right. We need to get them reassurance.
His gut reaction is that their flagship franchise was wrapping up its storyline in its final season, and now it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, this storyline of Clementine was wrapping up, and now you're not going to get a resolution to it. And that gut reaction as a fan is like, well, what the fuck? Like, I mean, imagine if Uncharted, or if Naughty Dog closed before Uncharted 3 came out.
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of like that. But then you're right. You take that step back, and it's kind of like, okay, there's bigger things at play. There's bigger things here.
Right. It's not a machine just pumping out these games. Like, these people are putting their time and effort into this. They're sacrificing their time with their family. They're crunching, like the infamous crunch that all these people have to do to get this out here.
Of which it sounded like, from what these devs were saying, there was a lot of at Telltale.
Oh, I'm
with
sure.
all these projects and all these deadlines that you're hitting.
Episodic is not an easy thing to do.
Mm-mm. I mean, do you think that these developers should be unionizing?
In the short term, yes. Unions don't usually work, or don't, I don't want to say usually, don't work for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
They don't work for every industry. But it can't hurt to try at this point.
Do you think it would work for everybody in this industry? Because there's so many different factions of this industry and different ways of operation, depending on your game. I mean, a game like World of Warcraft or Destiny develops much differently than a God of War.
Yeah. I feel like the publishers need devs, though. So it's either you take a group of us or you don't take any of us. And I think that gives the devs more leeway.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't make a game without us. I'm sure there's people out there that are willing to do it for less than this, but what quality do you want to sacrifice?
I think you'll see a slowdown in game releases, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
You'd see a slowdown if they're taking lower quality devs.
No, well, what I'm saying is you're keeping the same quality devs.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking at a unionizing them,
mm-hmm.
development will probably extend a little bit. Because there will probably be regulations on crunch and things like this.
Yeah, that's true.
So you'll probably see a little longer of a development period.
Yeah.
Which means you're probably also getting... You would probably end up with a more polished product. Because you wouldn't be forcing something through a tight hole to try and get it there.
Or you could have more people on it at a time so you don't have to worry about that crunch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You could bring on more people, which more people shorten the length of time. There's two pillars to this. Do you hire less people and have it take longer and possibly have to pay them more, or do you pay more people up front and possibly have a shorter amount of time to get the game out?
Either way, you're paying more.
Right.
So, do you think this increased game costs?
Maybe not at first.
But over time, we would break the $60 standard.
You don't... I guess you wouldn't necessarily have to. We're already in a business where $60 is the base game, and then there's DLC, there's microtransactions.
Mm-hmm. They found ways to monetize outside of it.
Yeah. Hell, you're seeing an increase in these multiple editions and getting them early.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's on a slippery slope right now to begin with.
I fucking hate that.
You'd see it from time to time in the past, but now it's like almost every game has multiple editions where, if you buy this edition, you get it a couple days early.
Mm-hmm. Now Madden releases on a Friday if you only buy the base game. And to get it on Tuesday...
Yeah, all EA Sports games seem to do it. 2K's been doing it for the past couple of years.
Tomb Raider did it.
Shadow
of the fucking Tomb Raider did it.
Forza did it.
Yeah, they did.
Ubisoft hasn't done it yet. but they put out enough editions where
The Division will do it.
I could see them doing that.
Yeah. The
If they
Division
haven't
will.
already announced it.
And that, if nothing else, is a logistical thing for server stress.
Yeah.
So.
That aspect of the industry is weird. Because that price hasn't changed for the longest time.
Yeah.
If anything, it's cheaper nowadays to buy a game if you look at inflation.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But there's the microtransaction aspect that's changed that as well.
As I tell my students, the fucking Atari 2600 today's cost is like $850. So,
It's
yeah.
if game prices do increase, you would ideally want to see less microtransactions.
Ideally. You won't.
But it's such a cash cow that I feel like prices are going to stay at 60, at least for the time being, until something plateaus with microtransactions or something happens.
I think you'll see a doubling down of these season passes to make up for it. You'll get more additional content and more types of games for them to be able to monetize out.
Maybe.
Because I think there's such a certain public perception of that $60 price tag that if you break it, you're going to piss off a large amount of people.
We kind of have two types of games that come out nowadays. We have the ever persistent online ones that have like skins and blah blah blah, and then we have games that don't.
You buy once and you're done.
Right. And those ones that you buy once and you're done usually have season passes.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, God of War didn't. Spider-Man does. No microtransactions in Spider-Man. No microtransactions in God of War. So I feel like we're in an era where you're either online all the time and you buy little things, or you're single player and you get expansions.
Mm-hmm. But the price still matters. Look at Fortnite and PUBG.
One's free and one isn't.
Exactly. The price tag matters.
I remember when PUBG was like the hot shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's so popular, but it's like...
And then Epic said, hold my beer.
Right. Epic's like, see this game that we put out? We're going to completely overhaul it, and that'll be the back end. And this weird edition is the main thing now.
We're going to abandon it and make this free. So yeah. Shitty situation. But.
Right. As long as the quality games are still coming out, and I'm not being nickel and dimed for it, I'm happy. Because at the end of the day, you don't have to buy those microtransactions.
Right.
They haven't been... There's only been select cases where content has been gated off by DLC, or by microtransactions. Azura's Wrath was one of them. I think that's actually the only one I can think of. I'd have to look into it more, but that's the only one that I know of that you had to buy the DLC for the full story. DMC 5, you can buy like the current... Have you ever played DMC? So as you kill things and open chests and whatnot, you get like these orbs, and you use these orbs to unlock skills and power yourself up and whatnot. Capcom is selling these orbs with real money. Like, you can buy more of these orbs to unlock things faster. People are losing their fucking mind. When they re-released DMC 4 and called it the Special Edition, they added this feature where you could buy orbs to unlock stuff faster. To me, it's not a big deal. I can see where people are coming from, because when you introduce that element into a game, it ultimately affects the progression in the game if you don't buy them. Like, they're going to want to make it take longer, so it incentivizes you to buy those packs. It's shitty, but ultimately you do not have to buy them.
Right.
You can play the game, you can unlock that stuff, it'll take longer.
So it's not pay to win.
Honestly, saying it'll take longer, there's no perspective on that, because you have no idea. You haven't played... It's a new game. If it was a Devil May Cry 4 situation where you would look at one game and how you unlocked it, and look at the updated version.
Yeah, and you could compare.
You could compare like how fast, and like, okay, yeah, they're changing the economy of the game. With this being a new game, you have no idea. So, I'm okay with it. DMC5 looks fucking amazing. I'm gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy any of those. As a trophy hunter, maybe at the end of the day I might buy a pack if I'm looking to not have to grind something, but ultimately I probably won't buy those. I'll still enjoy the game. It's a fucking hack and slash game. Whatever. They're not gating any content off by those transactions, so it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Get your pennies. Why are you getting the pennies in a bunch? You're putting microtransactions in a single player game.
Right.
You can be angry. You're gonna buy the game anyway.
Yes.
You could tell yourself, oh, now that I know this, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm sure there's people that are gonna stick to their guns, buy it cheap, pirate it, whatever. But you're still gonna play it.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever. Fuck it. What time? We're already at 40 minutes.
Holy shit.
Okay, we need to move on. We can probably blow through most of these. Red Dead's coming out later this month. There's an online element, of course. Mm-hmm. Not at launch.
Right.
It's going to be launched after the game comes out. I think they said about a month, but it's going to be in the beta.
Right.
What do you think about that?
It's fine. I won't play it. I don't care.
I'm not playing Red Dead anyway, so we are not the people to be talking about this game.
Exactly.
There's going to be people losing their goddamn minds over this game.
And they can fuck themselves.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm not a Rockstar fan, so I feel like I am in a select group that can stay outside of the hype train.
Right. Well, that's like most things with you. I will play it. I feel like I should finish Red Dead 1 first.
Yeah. This is a prequel, though, so play this one first, and then play Red Dead.
Say I was waiting all along to do it right.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the prequel.
You knew the prequel was coming first.
Yep. That's how they were going to do it.
So you
because I had the ignorance of not knowing the ending of the first one. So, I don't know. Good for them. I think the file size is crazy.
It's 102 gigs?
Yeah, something like that. Holy shit.
Who knows what you're downloading for the beta of the online, unless that stuff is mainly in there and you're just downloading maybe an update.
You would fucking hope.
Well,
and then what about long-term support?
Yeah, if we're taking in perspective how GTA is.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows how big that's going to get?
Right?
I didn't look to see what size hard drive is in the bundle that you get with the Pro. It better be at least it's got to be at least a terabyte.
It's 200 gigabytes.
250 gig. It might be 2 gigs.
Oh, it's 2 terabyte.
There you go. I will probably play it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to buy it at launch. I have some select friends that are going to play it. I value their opinion, so I'll hear what they have to say. Mm-hmm. But I ultimately do not care enough to join the hype train on that. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure people are going to get on their knees and say there's nothing wrong with this game. This game is the game of the generation.
It'll be the biggest contender for God of War.
Oh, it'll win Game of the Year at multiple places just for being Rockstar. I'm not being a hater. It could be amazing. To me,
the horse's testicles shrink depending on the temperature.
Oh boy!
Come on.
Because I'll be looking at that when I'm playing this game. Like, who cares? Like, it'll be cool to see it happen, but it'll be like, ultimately, who gives a fuck? I know
it's a living, breathing world, dude.
When Red Dead 1 first came out, they're like, look at the muscles. They're all modeled and whatnot. And you see the horse when it walks. It's
pretty impressive.
But yeah, look good. Like, that was a good game. But that was a cowboy GTA.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what this is going to be. It's going to be a beautiful cowboy GTA. All the interactions sound cool. Your gang life sounds cool. The survival elements and
just doesn't do it for you.
Taking care of your gun and whatnot just doesn't do it for me. I'm also not an open world guy, so
Right,
that's
and that's the
gets
biggest
me.
thing.
The world looks beautiful. The time frame, kind of cool. It's not my cup of tea, but whatever. We'll see. It's going to get a bunch of 10 out of 10. It's going to get blah, blah, blah. It's going to be amazing for a lot of people.
Just anybody expecting it to hit the same level of success as GTA 5 is going to be very disappointed.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We will see. I hate seeing news outlets just that get to preview it don't voice concerns.
Yeah.
But that's what those
maybe
that's what those previews are for.
Maybe it is very good though.
Right. And again,
and Rockstar seemed very confident with this preview. Because the people who did the preview were saying that, like, Rockstar showed them off, like, a little demo.
Mm-hmm.
Basically showed them basic controls. And then...
let them go at it.
Gave them the game.
Mm-hmm.
And said, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't pigeonhole them into a certain area. It was like, go do shit. Do whatever you want. And for there to really not be anything negative coming out, that is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I give them that.
We'll see. I want to see what Colin has to say about it.
Yeah. Alright, so let's talk about the big news.
This is a PlayStation Classic.
Okay, we could go with that. I'm very fucking excited about that.
Are you buying that?
Fuck yeah.
It's $100.
Fuck yeah.
20 games.
When are they announcing the rest of them?
I don't know. They announced 5. Who knows what other ones? I've seen a bunch of people post like, oh, this is what should be on here. But who knows? You'd think they would just announce all of them. Like, if you want everyone to be on board of this, just tell everyone.
I wonder if they're still trying to lock down licensing.
Which is where my mind went. Like, maybe you just don't have all the things.
And you couldn't wait any longer to announce it. It's like you kind of had to go, well, here's these.
Right. Get those numbers of how many people want it so we can start producing it.
Right.
I wonder the tech that's inside of it.
See if it can be hacked.
I'm sure it can be hacked, but I'm wondering like what went into making that. Is it like a Raspberry Pi type thing? Is it
Probably.
a bunch of Vita TV that weren't used put in there?
That would be fucking great,
It's running
wouldn't it?
PS1 games, so
Yeah, that would be fucking great.
Symphony of the Night is one that people are talking about, but they're re-releasing Symphony of the Night, PS4 exclusive, high res, 4K.
People want like a Spyro or Crash on it, but
I could see Crash 1 being on it,
but
maybe.
with them remastering them, why would you put it on it?
It's nostalgia. Like,
a lot of people are talking like Final Fantasy Tactics, stuff
That'd be
like
cool.
that. That would work
Final
really
Fantasy
well.
7, of course.
Metal Gear,
Metal Gear would be a nice one.
Yep.
Some RPGs, some Chronos.
the Siphon Filter, that kind of stuff. Driver would be fucking great.
Comes with 2 controllers, no power adapter, which is interesting.
Well, not the wall portion.
But yeah, like is it a micro USB?
Yeah. Which everybody's got laying around.
Right. The people that complain about that, like, fucking come on.
Yeah, get over your fucking selves. The people who looked at the fucking photo and said, why the fuck are the controller cords so short? And it's like, it's a promotional image, you goddamn moron.
Right.
Like, they're not that fucking dumb.
It's easier to just have everything all in one picture instead of showing the system, a controller, and a wound up cord. Like, who cares?
Yes.
Like, there's probably fine print on there saying, like, not actual something.
Right.
Like, these are production
And
pictures.
that's why that text has to exist. Because people like that. But,
Coffee is hot.
yes. I'm really excited for it. I was really hoping that they would do it. Now I'm hoping the Nintendo one comes true, that patent for the N64 Classic. Because they filed the patent for the logo.
Would you want a controller, like an N64 traditional controller?
Yes. You know why? Because we are right now priming ourselves for a good old-fashioned mid-90s console war.
Really?
Them going up against each other again. No, this is just fun. It's like...
But there's no
it's like
competition.
but who cares? The two consoles that went up against each other back in the day are out again in classic form. That's just like, for nostalgia, that's pretty fucking cool.
And then there's Microsoft, who's just like, just play it on this one machine. Just here's backwards compatibility. Like, play your Xbox One.
Yeah, but like, because they didn't have a console out back then.
A good one, yeah.
They didn't have a console out back then.
Right.
I think it's pretty cool. I would love a Nintendo 64 Classic.
I feel
Donkey
like
Kong 64.
I feel like that's
Mario
the
64.
last classic mini console you could put out, outside of like the Sega stuff, which that is
You don't
also
think
coming.
no, Game Boy. I think you could pull off a Game Boy.
I mean, you already have a 3DS and stuff. What would you charge for a Game Boy Classic?
$50.
Would you be able to put Game Boy games in it, or would it be all on board?
Well, all on board.
How many games? And what games would you put on Game Boy?
I don't know.
You could do all of them.
Every fucking game. I mean, they're not that big. I mean, these old Pokemon games, but like, with the ability, I think the coolest thing, like, make it $70. Like $70.
We're talking about the Game Boy.
We got Game Boy.
Okay.
And it's got a wireless thing on it, so you could Pokemon Yellow would be on it, and you can battle and trade wirelessly.
I mean, they did put out
the like nearby.
They did put out Red, Blue, and Yellow on the 3DS with online support.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if you had some infrared type of connectivity with that, I guess that'd be interesting.
That'd be freaking cool.
Would you have it cover like GBA or Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance?
Yeah, just do all of it. Just do all three of them at the same time. Because I think if you start separating those, you really start narrowing down what you can put on each one. And then lowering its value. If you just do all of them...
But then you have to take into account like how many from each generation, how many in total, and then the price.
Yeah.
Because that's 3 generations, whereas like the PlayStation and the NES and
They're just
SNES,
worried about that one generation.
it's just one.
I mean, is the pool that you're drawing for really that big?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff on. There's a lot of Game Boy games.
Right, but like when you're looking at the most quality games on it, what are you really pulling from?
Yeah, well, you got Pokemon from every generation. You got generation of Pokemon in each of them. Which ones do you
At least
pull?
one generation, yeah.
There's some Castlevania games in there, I'm sure. I guess I really have to look at the library of Game Boy games to figure out the best option for that system, but I don't know if it's even worth it for them. I mean, it's worth it for them because they don't have a virtual console where you can just buy those games.
Right? It's another.
I don't know.
Because, Game Boy Advance, you're looking at Pokemon, of course, top 3. Mario Kart, Super Mario World, Super Mario Advance, Namco Museum, Pac-Man, Yoshi's Island, Legend of Zelda: Link's Past. You're looking at stuff that's already out on these other classic consoles.
Yeah. I just don't know if it's worth it. What
about a GameCube?
If anything, put those games out on the phones.
Yeah. How about that?
Make like a Game Boy Advance app.
Mm-hmm.
Or Game Boy app.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's fucking do that.
I mean,
that sounds great.
They're getting more into the mobile business anyway. Like, fucking make your Switch app your retro app.
Do you know how much fucking money they could make if they just released Yellow on mobile devices?
Make a good online service where you cycle through Game Boy games for a set price or buy them piecemeal.
Mm-hmm.
Put them at for like 50 cents to $1.
I'd pay $5 for Yellow.
Right. Pay $50 for a year to get the library.
Mm-hmm.
or buy piecemeal and have them forever.
Yup. I mean, shit. When Super Mario Run came out, that was what, $10? If you bought the rest of the game.
Yeah, I think so.
I bought that without thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I would pay $5 for like any of the Pokemon games on a phone.
Or make it like $5 a month, and you have the full library. You can play them whenever you want. Saves are local, or saves are in the cloud. Fuck it, saves are in the cloud. Those saves aren't gonna be that fucking big.
Right?
Who gives a shit? Why not?
Yeah, I mean they're trying to develop these new mobile games in Striking Gold, and they're sitting on a gold mine, and they're not using it. So, anyways, I digress. What about a GameCube classic? Could they pull that off?
I don't know if... I haven't been much in the emulation scene for GameCube. I know there's the Dolphin emulator. I don't know how viable that is in a mini aspect. I don't know if they could do that as of right now.
Is there content for them to sit on for it that would be in demand? I mean, I feel like you could just ride Super Smash Melee all the way home on that one.
There's no point in doing that, considering Ultimate is coming out soon. That's going to have every character and be the best version of Smash at all.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a good library in the GameCube. I don't know in terms of power if you can do that yet.
Yeah.
Because computers, I believe last time I looked, computers for a while were having trouble emulating it well enough to even put that program out there.
Well, we'll see. Do you think this will be Sony's only classic console? Is it worth it to do a PS2 classic?
I guess it depends on how well this one sells. Because they're already selling PS2 games on the PS4.
And so far it doesn't look like these are flying off the shelves in terms of pre-orders. I was like 3 days after the announcement, I was still able to get on like GameStop's website and I could pre-order this thing.
Yeah.
But that they also haven't announced the other games, so there's that.
Okay, we're at almost an hour.
Jesus Christ.
Capcom Vancouver closed, so the guys that made the recent Dead Rising games, which again, hopefully everyone finds a job, but I feel like at least they were told. They probably saw the writing on the wall and were told ahead of time. I felt it was coming. I felt it was coming for Telltale. I knew it was coming for them, considering them as in Vancouver. Dead Rising 4 wasn't very good. I didn't play it. Same voice actor wasn't there for what's his name. Not surprised by that.
Yes.
Yes. Final Fantasy 7, 9, and 11 are coming to the Switch and Xbox One.
Yes, they are.
First time ever, at least on the Xbox.
We're still not talking about the big news, man.
Nintendo Switch Online came out.
Fucking hate you. You're like
dancing around it.
You're dancing around this. Wait, Nintendo Switch Online?
Yeah.
Did you get it?
Fuck no. Did you? You pussy bitch.
I wanted the NES library.
Of course you did.
Fuck you, man. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I did.
What do you think? Put up a big game. Your look told me everything.
What? It's neat.
There you have it, folks. Nintendo Online is neat.
Like,
I don't give a fuck about
okay, so I was
games.
like, I was playing Super Mario World.
How long
3.
have you played the classic?
Fuck off. There's lots of shit out. I enjoy my classic.
How long have you played it?
My SNES classic?
Yeah. How many hours have you put into it?
Probably less than 10.
That's still impressive. Do you have an NES classic?
Yeah, but I haven't opened it yet.
Okay. I will be honest, and I will tell you, at first I was like, fuck it, it's $20.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I needed to play online. And then I really stepped back and like, I don't give a crap about NES games. I would play it. I would play some of them and be like, I remember these games. These are shit now. Nostalgia. I don't have nostalgia for NES games at all. And then I'm like, what online games would I really need this for? I have Mario Kart. I played an online match one time. I don't really care to fight people. I came in first on my first match on Mario Kart, so I'm like, you know what? I don't need to play this anymore. I would play it locally. I don't have Splatoon 2 anymore. If I ever do pick it up, of course I would need it, and that's an online-only game, but I'm really not looking to play that game right now. And outside of that, there's really nothing online for the Switch that I'm looking forward to. Smash Brothers will have an online element. I'm not going to play that online. They haven't even showed the online portion yet. Every online for Smash Brothers that's come out has been garbage. Like, it's been laggy as shit. So as of right now, this online serves me no purpose. Cloud saves, okay. If anything, that would be the only element that I would really look forward to. Is it worth $20 to me? Not at the moment.
Right.
Like, I have enough space on my Switch to not have to worry about that. So, as of this moment, I do not feel it is worth it. Unless you are a diehard, like, NES fan, because then you can bring it wherever and play these games.
Yep.
They're going to cycle through different ones, so you have a set amount right now.
And the most important part of the NES, like, part of it, suspend points.
Okay.
Because I'm a bitch, and I can't beat Mario
without
suspend points that I can go back to and not game over.
It's okay to play on easy. Like,
yes.
Who cares? You paid the money.
And I found a new love for Mario now because of it.
Mario 1.
Because it was Super Mario 3.
Okay.
Which was a good game.
Yeah.
That was a good game.
Yeah.
I don't much care for the original Mario. It's just, it's the first.
Dated.
And it's very dated.
Yeah.
Super Mario 3 holds up better. I mean, there's a lot of shit games on that NES thing.
There's a lot of shit NES games in general.
Well, yeah. In 1985, dude.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't much care to play a game that like is basing its name off of adventure. It's like, no. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't hate anyone for buying it. But I just don't feel like it's worth it. At least right now.
It's also only $20.
Right.
So they realize that there's a value difference. They didn't go out and be like $59.99.
Oh, I would.
People would have burnt them to
I would Bethesda shit on them.
Ooh.
Yeah, if that was $60, if that was on par with what Xbox and PlayStation offer, you could eat my ass.
Right.
I would take a trip to Seattle and I would pull a Crash Bandicoot. Instead of yelling in a microphone, I would shit in their parking lot. And boy, does it take a long time for me to shit. So I would be there for a long time. If they offered more online focused games and it was of quality, I could see me buying this.
Yes.
But they're not offering anything worthwhile to need that. And if you really need this for your cloud saves, then you have a problem.
That's part. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't just push this out closer to Super Smash when there seemed like there would need to be more of a need for this.
I can see why not, though. I'm sure there's... Maybe they were protecting themselves from any unforeseen issues that they would have. Another added element is you need to have this membership to buy these wireless NES controllers.
Do you?
You do.
That's fucked up.
$60 for 2 wireless NES controllers. They attach via Joy-Cons, so you can charge them that way. That's a lot of fucking money for NES controllers.
Yep.
Will I ultimately buy this membership? Probably.
Just not until you find a need for it.
Right now, there's no value in it for me. Maybe if they expand the library of Nintendo Switch online games, because it's not Virtual Console.
So, as far as a PlayStation Classic goes,
yeah,
why did people think that there might be PSN functionality on these games?
We're in a connected world.
But this is a classic console. They're not like updating these games for a modern world. This is like your blast to the past.
Were they thinking there would be online support for these games?
People were wondering if there would be post-launch games that get added and PSN functionality on the games that are on it.
It would have been cool to have like some sort of leaderboard for games that have that type of stuff in there. But that would take some back-end work. Let me tell you something, though. If they had put trophies in this thing, you better goddamn believe I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
Well, duh.
It hurts me to say that, but it'd be cool nostalgia and then a reason for me to play it. But
20 platinums right there.
Fuck yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm at 451 right now.
Motherfucker.
I'm almost at level 80.
God damn. I'm still at 16.
I'm almost at 21,000 trophies.
Jesus Christ.
It's gross.
Okay, so we're getting closer.
Okay. THQ bought Kingdoms of Amalur. You know who should buy Telltale? THQ. I'm not even joking around. Like that'd be something that I could see them buying.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're at the dollar store, and they have a $100 bill. Like THQ is the person that's like, you know what? Fuck it. We'll buy all this ramen and make a fucking great casserole. So there's that news story. What else do we have? Mario Party doesn't support handheld mode or Pro Controller.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fucked up. Mm-hmm. TGS is happening right now.
Yep.
So they're showing a bunch of games. Mm-hmm. That's all I have for news. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Oh, the Harry Potter stuff.
Crossplay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that little thing.
What's happening with that?
Oh my god. I don't know how you got through that with a straight face. Just like, oh, that thing.
I mean,
you're not excited at all.
I feel like the THQ thing is like a good business move for them.
Well, yeah, that's a good business
move. Great PR.
Like,
fucking keep them alive.
But you were just fucking with me at that point. Like, just
that one I did want to get out. After that, it was all fucking
okay.
Yeah.
But
crossplay. Sony is like.
Are you excited about that?
I'm excited for the future.
Right. Yeah. I mean, same here. Like, neither of us give a shit about Fortnite.
No.
So, like, this is like a course correction that is much welcome.
Yes. I feel like this is going completely against the established groundwork for console gaming as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is shit that doesn't happen. Like, this is something that I would hear about at GameStop. Like, why don't they just make one console and we all play together?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's never going to happen, first off. But if we could play online with each other, that'd be cool.
Has there ever been cross-platform? Like, across everybody for a game?
Mm-mm. There's been PC to PS4. There's been Xbox to PC. There's been that type of stuff.
But even in previous generations, it was always separate.
Right. The only other online generation that we had was PS3 and 360, and that was... It was a situation where Microsoft was like, no, fuck you. We're on top. We're not dealing with you.
They took the Sony stance.
Where Sony was like, we're not against it. Like, whatever. And then it flip-flopped this generation. But, finally, it is happening. Fortnite forced Sony's hand and all that. They also unlocked your Epic account, so it's not locked to...
Well, isn't that unlocking in November? I thought that wasn't unlocked yet.
I think that was being turned on in the coming days.
Okay.
And then something else was happening in November. Merging accounts. Merging accounts was November.
In like progression, right?
Right. They said in the coming days you'll be able to unlock your account if you're isolated on one system. In November, we're looking to merge accounts if you made multiple accounts to play on these various systems, which good on them.
Yes.
They're proactive with that. They're adding new stuff with Fortnite all the time, so I can't fault Epic for what they're doing. They're keeping this thing alive in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
What you and I are interested in is how far do they take this? Like third-party games, who's going to jump? Who's going to be the first one to do that? Like Greg Miller said, who's going to be on stage and be like, and you can play with everyone on every system.
I think
in the blog post they acknowledged Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, PC, something that never happens.
Right.
They're always like our competitors.
Yeah, they never announce them by name.
Same thing with Microsoft and Nintendo. They're always like what other companies are doing. They never do it by name. So that was surprising to me.
I think if there's a PSX, I think they would be smart to bring like Activision on stage with Call of Duty. I mean, the idea of getting Black Ops 4 crossplay, would be huge.
I want to know, how do these exclusive like items and gear and stuff for these various games work then? Black Ops, for example, you get certain stuff early by being on PlayStation. Red Dead, I think Red Dead's getting something early on PlayStation as well. Anthem, there will probably be something on Xbox early. How does that work together with the other consoles that do not have it? Like if you have something on Xbox, like a special suit or a weapon that you get, and I'm on PlayStation and I don't have that stuff, how does that work with each other? I'll see it, of course.
Because it's in the game.
It's in the game. Like, I'll see it. I'm not going to see something different. It's not going to be some weird thing.
You just won't have access to it, I would assume.
You'd assume, but if there's some sort of gifting option, how does that work? Will they just not be able to gift that item?
Probably. That would make most sense. I see a bigger issue with games like Destiny where, like, it's a year-long exclusive, like, weapons and strikes and Crucible maps and everything that are in whole armor sets that are specific to PlayStation for a year.
Yeah.
On that console.
And if we party up, what happens? Is it just grayed out that you have someone in this party? Which, like we were saying when we were talking about Sony's first stance on this, maybe that's what they were looking into. Like, how does that stuff work? Because you gotta program that in somehow. Like, there's got to be back end stuff to stop you from being able to do that, or else someone from Xbox would just like invite me so I can play this now, and then you go and play it. So there's legal stuff going on with that. So that's a hurdle that they haven't talked about.
I think maybe in some ways, if you're gonna open up to cross-platform gaming, you're gonna have to back off on the platform-specific exclusive items. Or depending on what it is.
Right. If it's like cosmetic
like the Destiny
stuff,
level stuff, you'd have to back off.
Destiny type of like you get exclusive levels or you get exclusive events in a game, that would be tough to parse through multiple systems.
Yes.
Cosmetic stuff though, that's as long as there's not like a weird gifting glitch, that wouldn't be bad. You just wouldn't see it, or you wouldn't be able to acquire it on said console that doesn't have it. So that's not a big deal. This is less up to Sony now and more up to, I guess, third parties. You'd have to assume that most games that are built right now or coming out soon that have online multiplayer aren't set up for crossplay, at least at launch. So, who makes the first move? Or who makes the first announcement like, it's not going to be ready at launch, but you will have crossplay with this game?
I mean, to me it only makes sense to have like a Call of Duty, or if they figure it out, like Destiny. Or, Ubisoft to come out and say The Division.
Yeah.
There it is, The Division, because there is no
Rainbow
basis
Six
for that game right now. That would be huge to have that one.
That would be another tick to keep that game alive. Because they're putting out content, they're keeping it alive. Like, they're in like season 3 or 4 now. So adding that would be like Season 6, not only are you getting this content, you can play with everyone.
What about Warframe? Is that a PlayStation exclusive?
That's on everything.
That's not everything. So I could see that one.
That would be a thing.
That'd be a big move for them.
Rocket League is going to probably have that soon.
Oh,
because even they said it's not hard. Like, we're just going to flip a switch and it'll work. So,
Rocket League would be huge.
Oh yeah, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be them first.
Mm-hmm.
Second, but
get PUBG on PlayStation. Open up crossplay.
There was a listing. I don't know if it was Australia or Germany or something where there's a PS4 version.
Because they only ever said that PUBG was going to be a timed exclusive. Because they were working with them to get on console at all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could see that.
At least between Xbox and PS4. PC is way ahead of console. But I could see it eventually being on par.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this opens up.
This is not. I'm not trying to fuck with you.
Okay.
Elder Scrolls Blades. Todd Howard said he wanted that on every console to be able to play across, like, somebody on a high-end PC or on a console could play with somebody playing on VR on their phone, kind of thing. You have to open up.
Yeah, that
crossplay with that.
That gives that game an avenue to be like, okay, now we can come out
with their full thing. They did say that
bring up Bethesda.
Fallout 76 won't be crossplay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're going for here? Yeah. In the open beta.
Talking shit. Calling out companies about not having crossplay.
And they're not backing it up.
Which rightly so.
But
then all of a sudden it's like, no.
But they...
Again, this could be part of what I said earlier where these games weren't built for it right away.
Yeah. All they said was it won't be at launch. It won't be crossplay like in the beta, and it won't be crossplay at launch. Because they probably weren't expecting it. Todd Howard never said it would never be crossplay. And I think from a business standpoint, you would want your game to be crossplay.
Yeah.
I would love it with games because I would like to not be tied to the console that my friends are on to play a game.
There's that element, and it also extends the life of a game for your particular system.
Mm-hmm.
If, for example, if it's not popular on one system, but it is on the other, at least you could still play with them.
Mm-hmm. Like, if I could move my Destiny 2 account to PC and play with my buddy on PlayStation, who's on PlayStation, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would absolutely do it in a heartbeat.
That portion is a little different, though.
What?
Crossplay is one thing. Progression migration is another.
Well, that's on Bungie. The entire game is on their server anyways. That shouldn't be hard.
That type of stuff is also third-party.
Right. It's just like Fortnite, because it's all on your Epic account.
Yeah.
This is all on Bungie server. Like, I was even looking the other day. There's no save file on your console for Destiny, because it's all tied to your account.
There's no profile data or anything like that?
Nothing. When you go on, like, the storage for that, and, like, application data, there's nothing for Destiny.
Never really looked at it, because...
Right.
It wasn't worth my time.
But, so, if I could move to PlayStation on that, that'd be awesome. If, my friend who's on PlayStation gets Madden there, but I want to get Madden on Xbox because I get the EA Access discount, or the early trial or whatever, and have progression over there, I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
So give me the option to do that. Sports games, I think, would be really big.
Oh, yeah.
For crossplay.
Yeah. And at least at this time of the generation, if you already have a system and you've bought digital games, more than likely you're going to stay with the system anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It might not persuade people now that don't have a console. The price of the console is going to persuade them to go either way, but it only benefits everyone at this point.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
At least for the games that come out and everything. The Switch is kind of stuck.
I'm so excited, though. This is the first sign that, like, they're course correcting from becoming 2006 Sony.
Right. It's almost like they got into that pool about halfway up, and the cold water touched their privates, and it's like, we can't be doing this.
Right.
And they start walking back out.
Right. I mean, you even had Shuhei talking about it and openly acknowledging 2006. And it's like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Like slow the fuck down. So I mean, this is very exciting.
Yeah, it's a good move.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see more third parties jump on this.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm interested to see who's the first one. If it's anyone outside of Psionics, I am surprised.
Yeah, and the more I think about it, it's either Rocket League or I really think Bethesda will make the push for Fallout 76. Yeah. Or maybe it's Rockstar.
Maybe.
With Red Dead Online.
Maybe.
Grand Theft Auto Online. That would be huge. I want to talk about restarting the money machines.
Just what they need. Call of Duty's a tough one, though, because they have that exclusive stuff at first.
Mm-hmm.
The maps. You get maps 30 days early, so...
Well, wasn't there a system in the older Call of Duty games that when you would matchmake, the game would check off who had what maps, and then those were the only maps in your pool?
That would be the one way to get past that element, right, where like it'll detect who's playing on what system and then just cut that out.
Right.
That would be an interesting engineering obstacle to get over.
Mm-hmm.
Because all it takes is one fuck up and someone's on the Xbox playing on this map and then news explodes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that would be patched pretty quickly.
Or just added to like the 30 days early. These new maps are only available on a playlist for PlayStation users.
Yeah.
And then on that 31st day, playlist is gone. They're up for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that would work really well.
Good move.
Very good move. So kind of on the other side, Xbox had their Inside Xbox show and announced official keyboard and mouse support for the Xbox One.
I saw a post about that. I
Mm-hmm.
I didn't look into it because whatever.
Yeah, they're essentially going to be adding plug-and-play support for like most keyboards and mouses. Essentially just hook it up and play.
Good.
And leave it up to the developers to on who's going to support it.
Doesn't Sony do that too? They have keyboard and mouse support.
Yeah, for like 2 or 3 games.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, it's up to the developer for that type of stuff, so.
Right. I mean, you know, options are always good.
Yeah, they have that accessibility controller, which I feel like everyone should have.
Right?
At least on PlayStation you can remap buttons, so they've dipped their toe in the water for that.
Yes.
But Microsoft's gone above and beyond with completely designing a unique thing with tons of inputs and usability, so...
Should have been something that would have been really cool to have had as a joint project amongst all 3.
Yeah, kind of make it like a universal type.
Yes.
We want to include everybody.
My thing always has been and always will be with keyboard mouse is the competitive advantage or disadvantage that the people you're playing with are at if you're using it. Because I don't want to be playing PvP against people that are using a keyboard and mouse.
At least in shooters.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm never a big PC player anyway, so I really have no say in that. I've used the keyboard on the PS4 for certain things, but outside of that, it doesn't affect me too much.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when I get a PC, if I ever get a gaming PC.
It's a dark hole.
Oh yeah.
I've been going down it, and it's a dark hole.
I've never been lacking in console games to play, so I've never been tempted. I have people at work that are like, you should get a gaming PC. I'm like, yeah, but then I would be buying games that I may never play. And I like to finish games, so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Steam library is no joke. And I will say the gaming PC has gotten me to play games that were always on my backlog, but I couldn't get into, like Dragon Age Origins. I tried forever to play it on Xbox 360 and just couldn't do it because it kept dating itself. And then I got it on Origin on PC, and because it's on PC, like, it looked newer, it played great, there were no performance issues, and I fell in love with the game. So there's that. And you know you're playing, like, the best version of the game.
Yeah. But then you get so many Steam sales, and then your library grows, and...
Humble Bundle, and...
Right.
And it's a dark slope.
The darkest.
Yes.
Okay. Last topic, because we're at almost an hour and a half now.
Okay.
Fantastical Beasts 2.
Ah, yes, this.
Is 70 years prior to the main Harry Potter series.
Okay.
As you all know, or hopefully, if you haven't seen Harry Potter, where have you been? I'm not giving a spoiler tag because this movie's been out long enough. So, if you're weird and haven't watched Harry Potter yet, I'm sorry, but we're about to spoil some stuff. Maybe the smallest element ever. The old villain in Harry Potter has a snake. It's a Horcrux. Is that how Horcrux?
Horcrux.
It's one of those that has his soul in it.
A piece of his soul.
Yeah, piece of his soul. There's a set number of them.
7.
Okay.
I believe. Just saying.
No, I know.
I'm trying to redeem myself.
I like Harry Potter, but I don't know the lore as well as a lot of people do. So I know a general gist. I've seen all the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So Fantastical Beasts 2 is going to dive into the origin story of that snake.
Right.
So that snake is actually a human or a mythical person that can change into animals that gets stuck in that animal form at a certain point. Apparently that type of person has cursed blood, so they're damned to that eventually. And people are losing their fucking mind, both with the name and the origin of the name and the race of the person. Blah 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 blah. Are you looking it up right now?
Yeah, just exactly what Nagini is. She's a maledictus.
Yeah.
Which is a carrier of a blood curse which will ultimately destine them to transform permanently into a beast. Which is how she ends up being Nagini the snake. So, continue. They're freaking out with...
That's pretty much it. People are losing their mind about the origin of the name, the race of the person, the fact that they're putting an origin behind the snake. Like, who cares?
Of course there's an origin behind the snake. I mean, fuck snake.
Fuck snake. Maybe he does that. It is a female.
For fuck's sake, you knew that Nagini was different than any other beast in the series.
Right, there's a part of the villain's soul in this thing.
That and...
So it makes it special to begin with.
The way it would react to commands and, like, its sense of awareness and everything like that. It
right.
wasn't a regular snake. Yeah. You knew that.
Right.
So I think it's really cool that she's adding this backstory. And, I mean, Joe's explained this very well, and people just don't fucking like it. What did she say that Nagini comes from Naga or Nagi, which is the Indonesian shapeshifters, like mystical shapeshifters, which are tricksters or something like that. That's fucking sweet.
Yeah, if you're gonna expand a universe, this is a great one to expand it on.
Yes. Yeah, and this is
just interesting
how you do it. So that's how she defends the casting choice. That's how
it's been in her mind for 20 years. Like, ignoring maybe the hyperbole she has with this type of stuff, like, oh, I've been thinking about it for the longest time, blah, 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 blah. Like, regardless, if it's interesting, who gives a fuck? Like, if you put a good backstory on that, who cares? Like, get angry if it's a shitty backstory and they don't handle it well.
Right, and she's shoehorning it into the situation, and she's not.
I feel like this is going down a path of political correctness.
It is, and
the race of the actor playing.
Yep, and people are pissed off because they think that it's, oh look, another Asian character in a movie that is a game piece for the main characters and a slave for the villain.
Not so long ago, you're complaining that it wasn't an Asian character.
Yep.
Now that it is, you have to find some reason that it shouldn't be. Mm-hmm. Like, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
And that's how it always is with her in this. People are shitting on it all the time. It's like, it's her fucking world.
Just like Star
Back
Wars.
the fuck off. It's George's world. Back the fuck off.
You don't own any piece of this. Yeah, you're the people paying for this stuff, but ultimately you don't have to. Like,
so at the end of the day, don't fucking pay for it.
Right. Don't see it.
Yep. If you don't like it, don't see it.
Don't bash her. Don't bash the people making it. Don't bash the people that like it. Like,
there's no different than the play when they casted the Black Hermione.
Oh yeah, in the play.
Mm-hmm. And people flipped out, and Joe was like, "I never set a skin tone like that she was white." She's like, all she said was olive skin, which has a very broad range of what it could be. And she's like,
"They're black olives."
And do you think that J.K. Rowling was like not in on the casting process for this?
Right. And a lot of those people are probably only basing it off the movies. Like, they haven't seen the books, or haven't seen the books. Derp. I mean, you technically have to see the books. You have to read it. So technically I'm not wrong. But you have to read the books. And it's not like these three white kids. Like, no, it's Harry Potter, Hermione, and Ginger. Ron.
They're getting pissed off over something, over stuff that's stupid and stuff that,
you're looking
adds depth to it.
You're looking for reasons to be this way.
You get mad if the stuff doesn't, like, if
the quality
when the adaptations that are based on existing books don't match. That's when you get upset. Because depending on like how they handle it, like the people that always get mad about like Dumbledore. That one Dumbledore scene with the goblet of fire. When Harry's name comes out of the goblet, and Dumbledore runs in to the office and grabs Harry and is like screaming in his face, "Did you put your name in the goblet?" And in the book, it says, Harry, did you put your name in the goblet of fire?" asked Dumbledore calmly. Like, he was like that calm, cool, collected. In the movie, he just like is like running in and he grabs Harry and he's like shaking him and like yelling in his face.
People got upset about that?
Well, it's one of those things that it's just kind of like people were more upset with the actor of it because he refused to read any of the books and take any of that into account, and he wanted to do his own thing, whereas like Alan Rickman was like, he would study the books and he would do his process that way.
For one thing, that's a different
approach.
Acting style. Is it? Would you assume that these actors are reading these books to know their character better? Maybe.
I would hope.
You would hope. Right. You would hope if it's a movie based on a book, you would at least read the book, or if it's based on a game, you would at least invest in seeing how the game plays or the story about the game.
Yeah, it's doing a character study. I mean,
does that negate his acting ability to portray that character? No. They picked him for a reason. So if he does a good job with it, regardless if he knows the source material, as long as he's portraying that character in the appropriate style, who gives a shit? And I feel like in that moment, in that movie, that the way he acted that makes the most sense as a human fucking being. Yeah, he's super old, and with age comes wisdom and calmness, blah, blah, blah. But as a human, a mentor in that situation, I'd be furious as well. Especially if you tell him not to do that type of stuff.
Right, if like the rules state that like he's not allowed to like enter.
Right,
like,
you're not allowed to be in that, and then all of a sudden, boop.
And of like, all the fucking people, it's him. Like,
what the fuck are you doing?
Yes.
Why would you do that? You're not like, Why would you do that, Harry? Like, fuck no. I'd be furious. I would be absolutely furious at you. Like, good thing he's of age, because he would have shaking baby syndrome. I would shake him so fucking hard. So it's like, who cares? Right. Who cares?
And that's how I feel about this. Who the fuck cares?
If anything, it gives you a more detailed backstory on the future movies. Like, it gives you, like, oh, hey, because of this, I want to watch these movies again to see, like, the nuances. Like, because it's a prequel, they can tailor it towards that movie. They can give you reasons why things happen in the movie.
And that's what these movies are for.
And that's interesting.
These are to expand the universe. That's why these movies exist. Can you imagine if they casted a white woman?
Or a man?
Dear God, if they casted a man. Game over.
If they casted a man, it would be the opposite spectrum where it's like, is Voldemort gay as well? Hanging out with the snake. Blah, blah, blah.
Which people flipped out about with Dumbledore.
Right. It goes back to, it's not your source material.
Exactly.
You're an onlooker. You're not a creator.
Just enjoy it.
She can do whatever the fuck she wants. You can think she's a money-grabbing asshole, which, when something becomes big, there might be that element there, but based on her Twitter and stuff, I think she's pretty genuine.
Yeah, she very much is.
She donates a lot of her money to charities, I believe. So it's like, you should be thankful there's more stuff coming out of quality.
Yeah.
Like, they could just shit out garbage.
And just take the check and go.
You could be Walking Dead and just rehash the same fucking episodes with just a different group of people and say, like, get excited for the next season. Like, motherfucker, I know what's going to happen in the next season. You're going to meet a group of people. You're going to butt heads. It's going to be an ultimate conflict, and they're going to move on.
People just need to be enraged about something. I mean, the rage about Fantastic Beasts was Johnny Depp.
I remember that. Like,
and Joe came out and was like, no, he's who I want.
Spoilers. Johnny Depp is a good fucking actor. Boo-hoo. We're humans. Everyone does shitty things.
It'll be nice to see him portray this stage of Jack Sparrow's life.
He gets magical powers.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, he beat death, so I guess that's one element of magic. And
all of his movies are just various stages of Jack Sparrow's life.
Yeah. Sleepy Hollow.
Try weaving that web together.
I mean, I'll
Edward
go to
Scissorhands.
I'll fucking go to 4chan and I will find that thread. They'll incorporate Corpse Bride.
Oh shit, yeah.
Sweeney Todd.
Oh well, of course.
Sleepy Hollow. That Vegas one.
I mean,
the vampire one.
Sweeney Todd's easy.
Anything Tim Burton, easy as fuck.
Easy to weave together into a story. Finding Neverland. That one's a little tough. Good movie though.
I feel like that's the end of his life. When he's gone mad.
Oh.
And he's just like completely batshit crazy. No, Corpse Bride is the end.
Corpse Bride is the end?
Yeah. Because once you get to the world of Alice, you're batshit crazy. The only place to go from there is an animated fucking character.
Secret Window. Wasn't that him?
That was a horror one, right? There's one where he's a writer.
I think that's Secret Window.
Okay. There's another one where there's this, like, succubus devil woman that fucking has sex with him at the end and just, like, takes his soul or something like that.
Goddamn.
Vampire. He's been a vampire a couple times, I think. But regardless, I'm excited. I liked the first Fantastical Beasts. Like, that was a cool... I like Newt. That's his name, right? Yeah, Newt.
Newt. I have not seen it.
Yeah, I think you like it.
Oh, everybody says that it's a great movie, and I'm sure I would love it. It's never happened with me.
I mean, you haven't seen Avengers either, so you're already...
Exactly. And I haven't... Oh, and I know my homework was to watch the Avengers, and I tried. My wife flipped because she hasn't watched the movies leading into it, and she won't watch the Avengers. So I tried. and that'll be on it. But I also haven't seen the second and third Hobbit movies.
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about those.
I was not a big fan of the first one, but
even more incentive to not watch the other 6 years it'll take to finish those.
totally forgot he was on in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh yeah. He's with Johnny Depp too, and he's a special needs kid.
Willy Wonka.
That's a good one too. That's right before Alice.
So after the Jack Sparrow thing.
Yeah, so Jack Sparrow...
So that's why he's so white.
Yes.
Because I got rid of everything, and, you know.
So Wonka, and then...
Got it.
Mad Hatter, and then Corpse Bride.
Lone Ranger. That's like right after fleeing the piracy thing. Try and go to the mainland and make it work there.
Or if you start on mainland and then go to the sea.
So okay.
I feel like the mainland is boring, and you go to the
So you
sea.
need something more.
Right.
Rango.
Ooh, that's birth.
He said that with such conviction.
Rango's birth, because then he
that out.
evolves into a human.
Okay.
Because then that leads... Rango leads into the Lone Ranger.
Oh, that would.
And then Sparrow.
Okay, Dark Shadows.
That's where he's the vampire, right?
Yes. Would that be after Alice? Or would that be...
I feel like that's just after Sparrow.
Just after Sparrow.
He's already tasted immortality.
So between Sparrow and Willy Wonka.
Yes.
So, but how does the flashbacks on Willy Wonka tie in with the rest of the story?
As in when he's like a young kid?
When he's a young kid? Is that before Lone Ranger? Between Rango and Lone Ranger?
That's a good question.
And then in all of this, where does Fantastic Beasts fall?
So young Wonka would have to be
After Rango.
after Rango. Fantastic
So
Beasts.
his father leaving him would be his entrance into the Lone Ranger.
Fantastical Beast is after Wonka. Because he has all his magical powers. It goes overboard. Transforms him into the Mad Hatter. Because Mad Hatter still has, like, weird magical abilities.
Mm-hmm. And that's where his past, like, kookiness is.
Right, and then that just leads into...
Flashing.
We have something here.
You might have figured this out.
Mm-hmm.
This is the craziest fucking thing... Craziest fucking conversation I've ever had. Like...
And we've had a good number of them on these podcasts.
And the time link is Helena Bonham Carter.
Oh, yeah.
And all of it.
Oh, yeah.
Good work. Good work on that.
It's impressive.
Right?
We should have wrote that down. Well, we have it in audio form, so we can always translate it to text.
Okay.
I mean, it's no Titanic was sunk on purpose type of theory, but it's getting there.
True. It's no Pixar theory.
Oh, how everything's tied together?
Yes.
Because that's true.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a theory. That's fact.
Which is cool.
That's fucking nuts.
Next time I see my dad, I'm going to tell him about the Titanic thing and see what he says.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you look it up after?
I looked into it a little bit.
What'd you think?
I'm like, I need to dedicate a whole day to this because this is going to take up a lot of my life.
Because your initial reaction is, this is pretty compelling.
Right. My initial thing is like, okay, I can see why doing that. And then all the little details are going to be like, motherfuckers.
You're going to need to like really have it like set aside and be like, okay, what is all this?
Right. I'm just going to tear all those posters down. And have clippings and string.
It's going to be the It's Always Sunny
that
thing.
meme, like...
It's just like... Yeah, we'll have to make sure that the next podcast is on video then. So, in the background,
Right.
It's your progression over the next couple months diving into
the
this.
paranoia taking place.
This is all going to culminate in you getting in a submarine and going down there before it's gone.
Right, I mean, just like tapping on the glass, like, there it is.
Alright, so before our next meeting.
So, what? Let me see. Let me look at the date. So, our next one is scheduled for.
Do we want to get back on track or just go from here?
We can just go from here.
Okay.
Unless something important happens between now and then where we can get back on track. So, today's the 27th, so the next one would be on the 11th.
So, between now and then, Dragon Ball Fighter Z comes out on Switch. FIFA 19.
Are you playing FIFA? Are you a FIFA guy?
Yeah, I'll play it because I have Origin Player.
Okay, so
I'll get it. That comes out tonight.
Fist of the North Star comes out in the 2nd, so I'll have played some of that.
Okay.
I guess I'm buying it then now, so.
Forza comes out tonight if you got it early.
Do you have the Game Pass still?
Yes, but I don't think that gets me early.
Okay. Well, you'll have it eventually then.
Right. Batman Enemy Within on
Try
Switch.
to hit a sheep.
Try to hit a sheep?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Try to hit anything in that game.
Specifically, I want to see...
The goal is to hit things only on purpose.
You need to hit at least one sheep on purpose, and I want to see. Now, I don't want to see. I want to have confirmation from your lips that you hit a sheep.
Have you seen what happens or something?
Yeah.
Does it fucking explode?
You cannot hit a sheep. Like, the AI on those sheep are so fucking good, you cannot hit them.
What was the game that was like that, but I think it was like with people? That like they were so fucking fast you couldn't hit them. Was that Watch Dogs?
Maybe watch, like, for some reason the word driver is coming into my mind. Drivers.
Did Driver have people?
I think so. Was it Wheelman with Vin Diesel? There's something.
I think it was Watch Dogs though. That they were so fucking fast you couldn't hit them.
We have some. So we have some releases coming out.
Yeah, because, I mean, Forza Fist of North Star, Mega Man 11.
That looks really good. I'm not a big Mega Man fan.
Wednesday. Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
What day is that?
That's on the 5th. So that's a week from tomorrow.
I thought about it because I saw the trophies, and there isn't a complete every something, unless it's a hidden trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know, we can't see what the hidden trophies are yet.
I will not pick it up until I finish Origin. Because then I'll fall down that slippery slope with Assassin's Creed that I'll never get back. And, oh my god, Assassin's Creed 3 is getting remastered. Did you...
with the Season Pass.
Or ported or whatever. Did you see that?
If you have the Season Pass, you can get 3.
And standalone.
Yeah, they're selling it separately. Yeah.
So fucking excited.
It's interesting because that's one of the weaker ones. That, at least, reception.
Yeah. They are updating it to modernize it, though.
Like, gameplay elements?
Yeah, some of the stuff that like was criticized when it came out, they are updating it. So, fuck yeah. Here's what I want. I want Assassin's Creed 3 tie-over with Hamilton. So I want, like, a version of the game you could, like, Hamilton mode. So, like, Washington's black, and Hamilton is Lin-Manuel Miranda, and, like, all this shit's going on. And, like, that's what I fucking want. Because now when I look at it, I'm gonna be like, you are not Christopher Jackson.
That'll never happen.
And, yeah, I'm just saying. That would be fucking great. But that was a really good game. And, like, those large field battles were nuts.
They were cool. It's like...
Because they were terrifying.
You've only ever seen this stuff in, like, documentaries. And like, even then it was
paintings.
shitty.
It was paintings.
And then textbooks. And it's like...
Yep.
Okay. And it was like... It was cool to see that stuff in perspective.
Mm-hmm. Trying to make your way across, like, that battlefield.
I was obsessed with the theme song for that Assassin's Creed.
Huh?
Yeah, it was really good.
I was obsessed with the Black Flag one.
I never played Black Flag.
Neither of my students, and they all say it's shit. I just loved it because it added that twist with the Templars and, like, the speech at the end.
It felt like the history really mattered in this one.
Yes. But he was sitting there and, like, the whole like trying to open your eyes to like, you know, your cause is no different than mine, and you're fighting for this government that like you guys are no different than everything else.
Shouldn't be listening to this because then I'll buy that game.
It's so good.
I wonder what they're gonna price today. I wonder if it's like $20. I'd say $20 maybe.
I could
see them pushing it to 30 with the enhancements.
Maybe. Let me see if they real quick if they do a price.
If it's $20, I'll think about it.
No price release.
Yeah, I figured.
I also didn't say when it's coming out.
Right. That's also the piece that's important.
Because it's part of the season pass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Comes included in the season pass. Regardless of how you buy it, the game launches for Xbox One, PS4, and PC in March.
Okay, well, that's a while.
Yeah.
So many things coming out early next year. Fuck my life.
I wish they did a price.
That Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is in March.
Oh. Apparently, it leaked.
Oh.
A while back. Oh, it was part of the big leak on things like the Resident Evil 2 and like Assassin's Creed Liberation collection.
Oh.
This shows it as $59.99. I would doubt that.
Yeah.
Considering the Ezio collection was $30.
Yeah, I don't think that's it. How much was the re-release of the very last one on last gen with
Rogue?
Yeah.
I want to say it was 20 or 30. I think it was 30.
I don't know why 40's sticking out in my head.
Might have been. I really wanted to pick that up. I've been really good about that one. I never played Rogue.
I never played Rogue either.
But everyone said it was the best one that came out between that and Unity.
Didn't it come out at the same time as another Assassin's Creed?
And it was really embarrassing for them because they marketed the shit out of Unity.
And that one was the shitty.
This one did way better. But I love Black Flag. So I feel like I would really like Rogue. But I don't have time for it, so I don't want to buy it and not have time for it.
I want to play Assassin's Creed 3.
Right. That comes out the same day as Super Mario Party on Switch.
Oh, no.
And then the 9th is WWE. And the day after our podcast will be Black Ops 4 and Luigi's Mansion.
Oh, yeah. If I was still at GameStop, I'd probably be getting Black Ops for free. But I don't care.
I would want it.
Blackout mode was surprisingly good. The Battle Royale.
Hope you like playing that and only that.
I mean, that zombies and multiplayer.
Yeah.
2/3 of that I'd play. Enough to warrant buying that game? No. But, yeah. So, that is it. Just under 2 hours.
Boom.
I mean, I guess that's expected. Because we were...
There's a lot also that happened.
A lot of good and bad. But, regardless. Hope you enjoyed. Visit the site. Send stuff you want us to answer, discuss, buy stuff from the Amazon store. Links. We get money. Please. Hopefully we can do more streams soon. Might do a podcast, like a half episode or so in between these if we have time. Might be able to do that. Maybe every other week we'll do a stream, and then you'll have the main one. Schedules suck, but we'll try to get something started here. The streaming is the future.
God damn it.
But this has been episode 72. We're getting close to 100.
We are.
But
Big celebration.
Yeah, I wonder what we do. Wonder when that's gonna fall on.
Gotta make it important.
Yeah. Some sort of celebration. We'll figure it out. That's in the future, though. I only live in the present. This is Vaughn.
Chris.
We'll be back 2 weeks. I love you.